What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily. So when the folks over at GearBest asked if I'd like to check out a 6-inch bezel-less smartphone that only costs $250, of course I had to take them up on their offer. And what I ended up with was a device that I was pleasantly surprised with. This is the Elephone S8, a device you probably haven't heard about if you live in the US. It's certainly something I didn't know about, but where it comes from isn't nearly as important as what it can do. And this budget device is packed full of a lot of great stuff. And if you'd like to win this phone for yourself, I'm gonna go ahead and just give it away to one of you guys. All you have to do is, of course, be a subscriber to the channel and leave a comment down below letting me know you want it. And I'll randomly pick a winner and announce it on social media in 2 weeks on November 10th. Also, if you want to learn a little more about this device or check out some other great budget and flagship smartphones, I'll leave a link to the GearBest website down below, which I recommend you guys do check out because they have a massive selection of great stuff. As far as what comes inside the box with this phone, you do get all of your standard accessories, including a wall plug, USB-C cable, USB-C headphone adapter, a SIM ejector tool, some documentation, and a pretty nice clear rubber case for protecting your new phone, which is always cool to see included. I sort of had to change my mindset with this phone when I was using it and really focus on the fact that it only costs less than $250. It is a budget device, but for example, when you're looking at that massive 6-inch display, which by the way comes in at 2560 by 1440 resolution, it really doesn't seem that inexpensive. The screen is the main attraction, of course, and it looks really good. And it was better than I expected. It's very bright, colors look pretty good, and there's not a pixel to be seen. It's as sharp as the displays on most other smartphones. The phone is also made from all of the right material. It's that glass sandwich design with an aluminum frame, and that almost mirror finish makes the device really stand out. The top, left, and right bezels on this phone are super slim, and it shares a very similar shape and design with a Xiaomi Mi Mix, that sort of sharp rectangular footprint, and down at the bottom you do get a bit of a chin, but it serves two purposes, with a front-facing camera down at the bottom right corner, and a fingerprint sensor that also acts like a home button and back button too when you need it. And the fingerprint sensor by itself was very accurate, but the screen does have just a little bit of a delay in coming on when unlocking. You've got a single speaker and USB-C port down at the bottom, a little salty about no headphone jack, but it is what it is. The power button is textured and raised to differentiate it from the volume buttons on the side. It supports dual SIM, which is always nice to see, and around back you get a 21 megapixel camera with Sony's IMX lens, which I'll talk about in a minute. Out of the box, it ships with Android 7.1.1 with an almost stock-like experience. And even at the budget price point, the internal specs with MediaTek's higher-end Helio X25 processor and 4 gigs of RAM give the phone a relatively snappy feel and good user experience. Again, this phone is less than $250, so you aren't getting the latest and greatest 2017 flagship specs, but what you do get is a very comfortable and fluid phone that can still handle a lot. And oh, by the way, this device packs a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It certainly needs that big battery to power the huge display, but it still got me over 6 hours of screen on time and easily made it through the day. While most of the specs, hardware, and user experience excel way beyond what this phone is priced at, the area where it does fall a little flat is with the cameras. The placement of the 8 megapixel front-facing camera is not ideal, and that's just a product of having almost no bezel up top. So to combat the issue of your hand getting in the way, the phone prompts you to rotate the device for a better shot. It's kind of weird, but if you don't use the front-facing camera much, it's not really an issue. And as far as image quality goes, selfies are good, but not great. And that's a similar story around back. The 21 megapixel shooter seems like it might be able to get the job done, but taking a look at some pictures, this is where you can really tell this device falls in that budget category. For the price, it's something I could live with, especially considering pretty much everything else on this device ended up being way better than expected. But if photos and videos are your thing, there are better options out there. At $250, this device is really interesting. That 6-inch display is pretty great, the hardware feels very premium, the software experience isn't too bad at all, and even with the display, battery life isn't really compromised. If those things are important to you, this is a great device for the money. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I mentioned, if you want to win this device, just leave a comment down below. Also, be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter, and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.